Hello everybody and welcome to Tablestory's Dying Order, featuring me and some other people. This time we have all the boys crew. I almost changed the name of this to The Boys, and then a TV show came out at the same time as I was about to do it.
Oh darn.
And everything went wrong. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I am here. I won't say I'm your host. I think probably out of all of us, best host should be Pocket today. Because as far as I'm aware, she's feeling 10 out of 10. And it's her birthday. Happy birthday. Welcome.
I celebrated it yesterday.
You get to celebrate it today as well.
Way too much.
Go get yourself a drink.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not drinking.
Everyone say happy birthday to Pocket in the chat. Welcome to Katie Peters Plays. Back once again.
Hello.
You're playing a Viking Lord?
A Viking warrior, yes.
Viking warrior. Very good. PB's back.
Hello.
You're playing...
What did you put on the... Okay, Demi Folk Sorcerer is what I'm playing.
Oh, I wasn't going to ask for serious. I thought you were just going to say like an old lady.
Oh yeah, I'm playing an old woman.
Yeah. And we've also got...
Old lady.
We've also got whatever happens to Cousin It when he gets old. Joining us. This be Eric's first time on Tablestory, and
Hello.
I think is it your first time playing any D&D tabletop ever?
It's my second.
Oh right,
Yeah.
well then I guess that's that. I thought I was special. Never mind. No, I'm happy about that because you've been playing D&D for years, hundreds by the looks of it.
Well, I mean, not for years.
Yeah?
Not for years, no. Just maybe a couple of months.
Pro, absolute pro. Looking great, by the way.
Thank you very much.
No idea what your expressions are.
Yeah, it's a little hard to express with the beard.
And if anyone was wondering, yes, that is exactly what I'm going to look like in about 3 years.
Only 3 years time.
Probably. Yes, brand new show, Dying Order. We're playing some D&D. We're doing 5e, but it is a homebrew thing. I'm going to be doing that a lot, by the way, because my throat's kind of sore. It was my birthday yesterday, and I drank too much. So I'm going to be doing this a lot. We're doing a 5e homebrew campaign. It's set in my own personal world inside my mind. And I'm going to let these charming young men into the twisted, strange landscapes that I created. The setting is called Lacrin. I have used this campaign setting before 2 times. So those of you that are old school and have been here for a couple of years will know that I've used Lacrin as a campaign setting for 2 campaigns, Dustveil and Darkfire, here on Tablestory. But each campaign is set 1,000 years apart. So they have no. This isn't like a sequel or anything. There's no real crossover other than things like locations or like ageless beings that can be found hidden under the world's crust. Pretty much everything in this should be original content. So don't feel like you need to go and watch like previous campaigns or anything like that. If you see people freaking out about stuff, they're like, oh, it's that thing from the other thing. It won't mean anything other than like an Easter egg, so don't worry too much. Are you guys ready? Should we just jump into it? Who wants to do you want to jump in?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Yes.
Yeah? I feel like it's probably best to just jump in. Just get going and see where we end up. Just a little setup though. The Kryn, the world that this is set in, is a pretty standard like fantasy world. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, so there's like a lot of elements that are just straight up stolen from that, like clouds in it. I'm kidding. This setting is a little further in time than the other Kryn settings that I've used before. And as such, yeah, it's all the way up there. As such, there's like these technological advancements. So there are things like revolvers and rifles that exist. There are trains that exist in a very similar, but totally non-similar for copyright reasons, way that they do in the Eberron setting of D&D. In that they're kind of floating monorail type things that are powered by magic. There are airships, which I kept secret from PB until the thing before, because she was like, is there airships? Because in the future, right? I was like, no. But there are. However, they're like really difficult to run. They're insanely expensive, and they also harness this controlled magical element known as Arcani. So they're in it, but they're rare. Because a lot of people were like, they're going to get their own airship. Probably not. Arcani is a term that you're going to hear throughout this campaign that I just want to explain a little bit at the beginning, because it's like a thing that's in this, but it doesn't exist anywhere else. Arcani is essentially Magitech. It's the combination of some sort of technology and magic. Nothing like it's not like specifically, like weapons or anything like that. The airships count as Arcani. The engines that run them count as Arcani, but you could also technically like create magic bullets and put them in a gun, and that would be Arcani as well. Essentially anything that you might have seen in any MMOs or other games or Final Fantasy VI or something like that, Magitech, Arcani is essentially what it is. It's also completely illegal in Le Kryn, in the entire world. About 500 years before the beginning of this campaign, there was this massive Arcani that was developed by the world's leading continent, Thelmecia, and something went wrong, and it destroyed the entire continent, and what wasn't reduced to dust is now just underwater at the bottom of the ocean. And after that, they deemed Arcani way too powerful. They outlawed it. They were scared it was just going to blow up the entire planet. So bear that in mind for the campaign in general. And this whole campaign takes place just a few moments after a particular individual went ahead and broke that cardinal rule and created an Arcani weapon, and it set in motion all of the events that this campaign is. That's what Tablestory's Dying Order is, basically. Is everyone ready? Shall we play the game?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's just jump into it. I'm not going to give you any more info than that. I think we'll just explore the world as we go. Tablestory has a Discord channel where there's lots of people that come together as a community and talk about things, and also generally I'll go in there and answer questions as well. So if you do have questions about the campaign or anything like that, you can head over to the Tablestory Discord. You can also find all these people on their own individual streams. Everyone here is a Twitch streamer. Their Twitch names are the names that are above their heads, and there's also links in the Twitch chat and in the YouTube VOD. If you want to go and see these people on their streams, go and find them and question them about their characters. Like, what happened to Cousin It that made him so frightened that his hair turned white? Let's start the campaign with One of our characters and one of our characters alone. Aura Oakfell. You are in Alexandria, which is a primarily sort of human continent in Lacrin. After Thalmesia was destroyed, a lot of people moved over to Alexandria. So there's a decent amount of different people, and it's a very large and flourishing continent. There are several continents that are still kind of in the Dark Ages, and there are several that are quite advanced. They have things like trains and airships and things like that. The central main cities in Alexandria are one of the most advanced in the world. That being said, you are in a cottage on the edge of the forest in a little town called Bame, which is towards the north of the continent. I would say that you're probably waking up today. This is the morning. It's dawn. I assume, as a ranger, you wake up at the crack of dawn. Would that be correct, or do you wake up? You roll out of bed at like 1?
I wake up like just right before the sun comes up.
Yeah, I imagine that to be true, and I think you're probably waking up from a dream that you can't remember, but it's that same dream that you remember and don't remember over and over again, and it leaves you with a very strange sensation. I think the feeling today is even more prominent than some other days. There's something a little off about how you feel when you wake up today. What do we see in your character when you wake up? What do you look like? What does your cottage look like? Your home, your room?
The room's pretty small. It's the room I grew up in. It has a bed, and it's piled with 5 or 6 blankets, which is an excessive amount, but she loves blankets. And she has a little bird cage in the corner of the room with the door open, but there's nothing inside right now. She's got a big squishy chair in the corner and a bookshelf just full of books.
What are the books about?
There's books about everything from magic to the history of Alexandria to survivalist skills and some stories in between.
It's the middle of summer, so it will probably seem strange to you that there's a rattling of a window, like it's extremely windy out when you first wake up. Every day so far has been pretty hot, pretty calm, pretty clear. And as a ranger, I think your senses would be a little out of whack when you realize that the wind is blowing really strong. Like you know when your windows are rattling in your home with like double glazing, mm-hmm. and you're like, wow, it's windy outside. It's doing that kind of thing, I think. How do you think you'd react?
I'd go to the window to look out to see what might cause it, to see if it's just stormy out or just a windy day.
What do you see? Can you see the village? Because you live on kind of the outskirts.
The cottage is down a very long dirt road, so I can't see the village, but I can see the forest. Like, we're right on the edge of the forest, and there's like an open field right next to the house.
You can see that the wind is like blowing. The trees are kind of bending at an odd angle. You can hear like the the rattle of one of maybe the window shutters, ding, 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 starting to hit the edge of the window frame. The sky is really bright, though, like extra bright,
Like a bright blue.
like a bright white.
Okay.
Like it's insanely sunny for dawn.
I'm gonna go to my wardrobe and grab, like, I have a thick, long green cloak that I wear. I'm gonna grab that, and I'm gonna grab, there's a sword leaning in the corner. I'm just gonna pick that up and I'm gonna sheath it, and then I'm going to run outside.
All right, you want to run outside? Okay, you run outside. You go running outside. As soon as you hit the open the door, it kind of bangs and closes in on you, and you run out into what feels a little like a twister. Again, the sky is extremely bright. Like, you probably have to shield your eyes a little bit. It's kind of painful to a degree. The wind is unbelievably strong, but you're still, you don't get blown away or anything like that. You can see that the trees are bending at a strange angle. You're definitely struggling to stand a little bit. There's a barrel that like rolls past you and just boom, 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 launches off away from you. Probably belongs to you and is gone. You have a little robin, right? A little bird. He's like out with you, but like you can see that he's like struggling to stabilize in the wind, and he's kind of just fluttering around nearby. The shuttered window, which is ding 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 ding, begins to speed up, and the sky above you suddenly splits in two. And it reveals this kind of starry night sky for a moment, like a scar across the sky. And that's when the wind does lift you up. You start to float upwards, and it lifts you upwards, not in a quick motion like you're lifted off your feet and you fall kind of thing. Like, you kind of lift upwards, but it does feel kind of odd. And the wind does bring your legs up first, and you start to go sort of upside down a little bit. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna grab, my Robin's name is Buns. I'm gonna grab Buns.
Reaching out, grabbing him?
And I'm gonna tuck him close to my, and I'm just gonna tuck myself up in like a tight little ball.
Right, so you're just giving yourself in. So you go upwards then, I think. As you grab onto Buns, you hold him in, you kind of curl into a little bit of a ball, and you start to spin and spiral upwards a little bit. The wind lifting you, you float upwards, and it starts to get a little faster, and you start to spin up, upside down a little bit. You see the forest of Bame kind of spreading out northwards. You can see the village. You can even see a little figure running up that path towards your house, but it's too late. You're being lifted upwards, turning over and over again. You catch a glimpse of somebody above you. A sort of winged tiefling is coming downwards towards you. Completely naked, wings, these feathered wings, spreading out, huge. They're like twice the size of her body. And she's kind of like just completely stable, moving towards you, as you're spinning upwards towards her. As you catch the sight of her and maybe try and stabilize, you can see that she materializes like a bow into one of her hands, and then she knocks a sort of an arrow. And as she does that, you see the bow ignite. Her body immolates a little bit. There's some flame coming off of her skin, and she seems to sort of knock a divine sort of arrow of light and aim it towards you. As you're spinning upwards towards her, what would you like to do?
Can I tell if she's sinister?
You can give me an insight check if you want to try and do that. First roll of the campaign ever.
Okay.
Bus.
Bus is in the chat. 13. I think weirdly enough, a 13 isn't usually too bad, by the way, for trying to gather information on someone. But you're spinning upside down, and this is a very strange situation, and this thing is like a serif tiefling. So I don't know if you can tell from how she is, like what her expression is on her face, or how her body language gives away, other than the fact that she is definitely knocking an arrow and she fires it at you and 3 arrows split off of the single arrow and they all come firing towards you.
I'm gonna let go of Buns. Like I'm just gonna let him go so
Yep.
he can fly away.
He
and
fires,
then
yeah.
I'm gonna attempt to take my sword out to try to deflect if they're gonna come towards me.
Sure, what is your AC? I'm gonna roll my first dice.
17.
17. So 2 of these arrows
What?
fly straight towards you. You bring your sword out, and your sword is pretty big, right? It's like a giant greatsword,
Yeah, it's a great sword.
and it's awesome looking, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's a sword that her father gave her, and it's engraved with a tree, and it's got like Celtic knot kind of weaving on the sword in the engraving, and then the handle is the trunk of the tree with the roots kind of forming like a ball at the end, and it's a special sword.
And I think you can use this as a defensive measure. It's so big. As you're bringing it up, you can shield yourself with it partially. 2 of the arrows hit the sword. The third one launches flying past you, and you continue to head upwards. The wind below you picks up, and it quickens, lifting you very quickly towards this figure. She is just kind of in place now. You see that her bow dematerializes, and she just waits for you as you are flying up towards her. Is there anything you want to do as you head directly at her?
Can I try to stabilize to see if I can get some control of my body?
Yeah, you kind of have. I feel like
Okay.
you're kind of in that position. I'm giving you that for free.
I'm going to just get to her, and I'm not going to do anything aggressive. I just want to see what she wants.
Sure, okay. A little side swipe here. There is a little fellow running along the path. A few moments ago, he witnessed you run out and then suddenly start flying upwards. He has a very confused look on his face. He's a gnome. And he sees you flying upwards towards this column of light, basically. He doesn't see anybody up there, but he sees you go sword out into a column of light and then completely vanish. He also sees Buns fly directly upwards, fast as his wings can take him, as this column of light closes. And then that's all he sees. The wind dies down immediately, and kind of slack-jawed, looking up above this thing, above where your cottage is, he just says to himself, "What the heck was that?" And that is where we sideswipe again. Our next character on the continent of Yoskorin, which is the gnomish continent. Pumpkinberry, aka Tsuna.
Close enough.
Today is the day. And I think your dreams were filled with strange imagery as well. Probably things like hourglasses, the imagery of the pearl. And I think as soon as you wake up, you sense that the pearl is calling out to you even very quickly. You awaken in your own sort of forested home, cottage. What does it look like where you are, and what do you look like? What does your character look like?
Well, I am slightly tall, thin, a little bit frail. I'm elderly. I'm about 52 years old, 62 years old, looks like. Long gray hair. And my hermitage is this beautiful cottage on the mountainside. I have a nice little chimney. There's smoke rising. I live in the woods, not far from a town, maybe about a 45-minute walk. I will often trek there. And today I woke up knowing it was the day. My things were already packed.
Mm-hmm.
So I pick up my bag and I walk to the door. I grab my walking stick. I turn around and look behind me at my cottage for the last time. I hope it's not the last time, but it probably will be. And I close the door and I start on my way towards the Pearl.
You're going to the Pearl.
That's
so
right.
there's an odd thing happening. Mount Venlin, where the Pearl is, it's not noticeable, but since you're heading there and you're heading directly towards it and your eyesight is on it, you can see that there is an almost column of light heading up out of Mount Venlin. It's more of a distortion of light, that it in the sense that it's not like a big MMO column. This is where you need to go, like waypoint thing. It's just like an oddness in the shading of the vibrance of the light in what looks like a sort of jagged column heading up out of the top of the mountain. And as you begin sort of maneuvering through the weird sort of swampy forest that's here, it's like a sort of a rainforesty temperate forest. There's probably like mangroves and things because you're relatively close to the water and you start to move further inland. You start heading up the mountain towards the path that you know to lead you towards the Pearl, but something's very wrong. The path leads in the wrong direction. And this is the area that you know takes you to the Pearl. There is no path that goes to the left today. Instead of going to the right, it goes to the left. It's entirely
odd.
gone. The area where you would normally walk up is just sheer rock face. The whole thing has changed.
Rude.
What do you do?
I stand there for a moment, surprised that the path isn't the way I expected it to be. Scoff a bit. And then I guess I move to the right.
So you
or
start
the left, right?
Yeah, you take the other way.
Yes.
The new path, the provided path. So yeah, you start moving along. Roll me a perception check, please. PB's first roll. It's going to be a 1. Nice. 21. Good roll for you, PB. Unbelievably good. You can see, moving along this path in front of you on the ground, dead center of the path, facing upwards, is a card.
Oh. What card might that be?
Picking it up, you can
Hello,
see,
little friend.
you can see that this is a tarot card. And upon the card, you see a tower.
I knew it. Well, that's not surprising.
Turning back towards Mount Venlin, you can see that it has in fact transformed from a mountain into a giant twisting tower. The distortion of light reveals in fact a huge, gigantic tower that appears to just end beyond the clouds above you. The lower area does still remain kind of like a natural formation of rock almost. It's sort of crumbling, but cylindrical. And towards the top, it shifts into what might be like marble, white stone, something like that, with gold that you can see glinting, the sort of morning light off of the gold sort of trim to it, and it starts to stop being like a crumbling natural formation and looks more like a well-made tower, man-made thing. But again, it goes endlessly up. It thins to a point that's that's lost in the clouds above you. There's a door directly ahead of you, perfectly open. Inside, there are a set of stairs that are pearlescent in color that twist upwards inside the tower.
Well, that's enough of that, I say to my stomach, which is flipping around over itself. And I go through the door.
All right.
And I tuck the tower into my pocket.
Yeah. You begin to climb. 2 footsteps and then a clump of a stick, a walking stick, I assume. Tip-tap, clump, tip-tap, clump. Up these stairs. Up and up and up. And that is where we once again sideswipe to our next character, who's also old. An old man. Young Bobo, who is apparently not properly on the screen. Good job, Bradley.
Oh.
And you are in Alexandria as well, the primarily human continent of Alexandria. You are also in the capital city, Bologna. And we probably see you very early in the day walking along the market street. Lots of people in the market street with lots of pockets. And there's an enormous marketplace that runs along the edge of the theatre district. There's a canal along that sort of splits the 2 districts between like the marketing area, the theatre district. There's a big train station where the Arcanine rail trains come in. There's only like 2 or 3 of them that will be able to sit there. It's big in terms of then, but compared to nowadays it would be small, but it's a large structure nonetheless. One of the trains does go over this market district, and you're probably walking underneath the bridge heading towards the canal. There's a little cobblestone bridge, a smaller bridge that leads into the theatre district. What do we see in your character? Who do we see walking down the street? What do you look like?
I'm probably still haggard from last night. I had too much to drink.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably stumbling and tripping over my shoes myself. It's busy as it can be, even this time of day.
It is
I don't see
definitely.
anyone familiar.
It's
Oh, maybe
extremely
that girl over
busy.
there I saw her last night. Look away! I've got nothing to do with you. So
There
where we?
are a couple of noblemen walking towards you. They aren't knights. They do have like little short swords on them. But they're wearing very fine clothes. Pompous looking, heads up high, not really looking at anyone else as they walk down the street, kind of laughing the morning away. It's very likely they have a coin pouch worth your time looped into a belt on one of them.
I could take it.
You want to
No
try and
problem.
pickpocket them?
Why not? Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right. Well, if you could roll me under your skills a sleight of hand check.
You got it.
Damn, a 22. I think you start to head towards the bridge. You can see them walking over the bridge. You think, oh, I can get them on the bridge. It's quite busy. There's enough people walking up and down from the theatre district to the market district. As you step onto the bridge, something kind of weird happens. A huge flock of seagulls suddenly take flight, squawking from underneath the bridge. Using that as an advantage, you jump. Hold a hand to your chest and bump a little bit into one of the noblemen. He kind of he kind of looks at you disgusted. He looks down at you. He's kind of horrified that you would dare to come near him, and definitely disgusted that you would touch him. Just, you disgusting peasant, stay away from me, please. It's just a flock of seagulls. Disgusting. Do anything?
Nope.
All right.
Too fabulous.
Roll me a d50. Now, to do this, type in the Roll20 box underneath where your 22 is, /R, space 1d50. And this is how much gold you swiped. 41. Nice roll. So you can add 41 gold to your inventory. There's a little area where you can put gold in the little things on the inventory, and if you can't work it out, we'll do it later on, don't worry. You swipe a gold pouch off of them. 41 gold in there, and this is a great day. This is an excellent start to the day. The nobleman kind of like shoves you a little bit away from him, but both of them kind of look at you and watch you a little, like, kind of disgusted.
Haters gonna hate.
And they kind of start to move away from you. When the bridge rumbles a little bit, underneath you, there's a little shake as you stand in the middle of the bridge here. Something odd starts to happen. There's a moment where the bridge suddenly splits and begins to break underneath you. There's 2 or 3 people that scream out, cry out, and run away from you. The noblemen are pushed backwards and they fall onto their asses. Just bang. They're kind of like looking wide-eyed over at you. You, what do you want to do? The bridge is collapsing underneath you.
Run! I ain't sticking around for this.
You start to run. Give me a dexterity saving throw, which is the button next to the skills. I don't know if you get a... Yeah. What is that one? That is a 13. It's good enough to jump over the cracking kind of cobblestone bridge. You can see the rocks falling from underneath it, and they're hitting the water with like big splashes.
Thank the gods.
There's this split that runs straight across the center of the bridge, and then the whole thing starts to fall in on itself under its own weight as the rocks fall around you. You jump to one side when suddenly this column of water raises up from all around the side of the bridge. It pushes a lot of the bricks and the broken bits of cobblestone upwards into the air, and they rain down around you. And you can see that the water is like bubbling, like it's boiling. It's like frothing. As the foam comes to and the spray comes down to land on your arms, you can feel that it's extremely hot. It doesn't like scald you, but it's really hot, and it's definitely very odd. You probably jump off one side, and then this column of water pushes the rocks and the cobblestone in front of you, and then the bridge entirely falls out from underneath you as you fall into the water. You're left sort of tumbling in this surf for a moment. The water again is kind of uncomfortably warm, but it's not burning you. What do you want to do? You're kind of like lost in the surf here.
I can't swim.
You can't swim.
No.
Okay.
I can't swim.
In that case, give me a dexterity save with disadvantage. When it comes up, just click on disadvantage. That is a 9, which is a fail. The current of the water starts to pull you downwards. The light of the surface is lost as you're pulled into the darkness of the water. This foam, these bricks and things are all falling around you, and you begin to sink and sink and sink. And then we sideswipe once more to our final character here. Young Ellie. I think probably, Ellie, you're not too far away. Though you have a home outside of the capital city of Bologna, you are on a job right now.
Yeah.
You are in the train station nearby where Bo was. You're inside of the capital city Bologna train station, and I think you're probably laying on a train or something, somewhere kind of oddly out of sight, where no one's able to really see you too well. What do we see in your character when we see Ellie? What do you look like?
All black. She's wearing all black leather with some red detailing on it, and you probably don't see much of her. I mean, she'd have a mask on, her hair concealed, maybe her eyes, and that's it. But really, even then, there's like too much shadow around her. She's trying to stay concealed, and trying to look for someone probably when the earthquake or the shake happens.
Yeah, I think there's this moment where you're kind of prepared to strike.
Yeah.
Your mark is heading towards where you are. The train that you're on top of is about to leave the station, but it's not. It's immobile. It's still there. The syndicate have promised you an enormous amount of money for this guy. His name's Kenneth Schwartz, and he's simply not allowed to leave the city. When there is this screaming, this thing happens. South of the train station is where the theatre district is, and there's this rumbling and this explosion, this sound of like strange rushing water, like an enormous fire hydrant went off. What would you do in that situation?
I would keep my eyes on the mark.
Yeah, there's chaos all of a sudden. He is running for the train, though. The train is like leaving any minute now, and he seems to be kind of completely distracted by the fact that the train is about to leave. When the chaos erupts, there's a decent amount of chaos going on around the area. Some people kind of like, what's going on? Some people like, freaking out. He looks to be just concentrating on the doors of the train, which you are laying above or sat above or perched Assassin's Creed style above. And he beelines for it in the chaos, but it's wild. What would you do?
I think as he gets to the door, I want to slip down and try to execute him.
All right. How do you slip down? Do you jump on him, like, or do you sneak down?
I would say,
sleep?
like you mentioned Assassin's Creed or something. When you're above and the mark like suddenly is on your target, I just straight up like jump down and stab him in the throat.
Absolutely, yeah. Give me an attack roll with a dagger.
Okay.
Or some sort of melee weapon. I don't think you have the hidden blades.
Where exactly do I roll from for my dagger? There it is.
Yeah, so it's the center of the character sheet. There is attacks.
The normal roll, right?
Casting. Yeah. Damn, son. Natural 20, first roll. 26. Yeah, give me the damage. So to do that, you click on the word dagger in the dice roller column on the right.
Okay. Oh, how come I didn't give it damage already?
I will
Yeah.
screen it and show you.
Yeah, this is confusing.
Do you have Discord up?
Yes.
Everyone will need Discord at some point during this
Oh, I definitely have Discord.
episode, by the way.
Oh, there you are.
Click on that one.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, you absolutely kill him. This guy, for whatever reason, he is not trained or anything. He's not armed. He looks kind of like out of shape. How do you want to assassinate? Whatever your perfect assassination is, you can pull off here on a natural 20.
I'd say that like he's bigger than me, but I'm pretty small and lean and therefore very agile. But I'd say I jump down and my hand like rests on his shoulder as I come down, and then I just like slit his throat and then immediately just start walking away.
Yeah,
and then like just let him fall there with blood gushing out.
Yeah, you're already walking away before he's reacting to dying. As he falls to his knees, his hands come up to his throat. The blood is like pouring out over his fingers. Most people are confused about the water incident, the sort of explosion that happened nearby. The train starts to leave to add to the confusion, and pretty much no one sees this happen. You start to walk away as he falls to his knees and then falls to the ground, kind of desperately crying out, but can't do anything. His larynx is gone, so he's just kind of choking on his own blood. You start to walk away, and then you start to look around you, and everyone has stopped. And it's extremely unsettling. There is a moment where you suddenly realize, wait, the screaming has stopped. Just the general sounds have gone. All of the people around you are stopped in motion. The guy is still laying there, just frozen in space. It's deafeningly quiet to the point where you can sort of hear your own breath and your own breathing. There is no sound at all. And then slowly, the people around you begin to just fall apart, turning to ash. It starts to wisp away. And then one falls completely into a pile of ash, and then another, faster and faster around you. What would you like to do?
I've is there any like noticeable like direction, like is this coming from somewhere, or is it just like everywhere, like there's no end in sight of this happening?
You appear to be the only person in the world right now that is moving. Everyone else is completely stopped, and anyone that's alive or anything that's alive is just slowly falling, like they fall like ash, Thanos style, just bang, hit the ground, and then they go up in a plume of ash, and it begins to settle. 1, 2, 3, and there's loads of people here, and they're falling all around you, quicker and quicker and quicker.
I'd say I start running back to the hideout like as fast as I can, and it's probably a good trek, probably a good 10-15 minute run, but I just start booking it, trying to get back there to see what's going on.
Yeah, give me a dex roll. Just roll dexterity. See how fast you do this. 23. Yeah, you go. It's fast. You're quick off your mark, and you start to run. You're avoiding these falling people. Give me a perception check while you're running too. You start to move through the streets, and all of these people are just falling over and just dust and ash. Perception. As you're running, you maybe duck down an alleyway, and you notice something odd. As you turn, in your periphery, you see that the ash is collecting itself behind you, and it's beginning to follow you. These weird tendrils coming out, reaching towards you and starting to follow you and form into a single wave of ash that's chasing you down the street.
Oh, I stop and I turn around and I face it.
All right, how do you want to face it?
I don't try to fight it. It's just, is it trying to attack me?
It's like it looks like it's trying to reach out at you. There's like ashy kind of tendrils that are reaching out towards you, like vines almost. It's fast as well. Like if you stop for a second, it's probably going to get you.
Yeah, I stop.
You stop.
Yeah. I just turn around and I'm just like, what is this?
It rushes up the alleyway, the walls, both sides, and it begins to surround you, and this kind of column of ash appears around you, and it starts to reach upwards up the walls. Once it always looks like it's shifting like sand, but you eventually become completely surrounded by it, and from inside of it, this sort of skeletal hand extends itself to you, palm up, open.
Is there anything in the hand, or just
No.
the palm?
Looks like it wants to shake your hand.
I just shake my head and look at the hand.
All right. I think from the perspective of everyone else in the alleyway, or near the alleyway, or in the town, time doesn't stop necessarily. All of the people that were turned to ash, everything that happened in that moment are not turned to ash. And we see from outside of the alleyway, you are gone. And the people carry on walking past this alleyway as if nothing had happened. Over the alleyway, over the cobblestone bridge, which is destroyed, over the jungle in Yoskorin, and over your home, Aura, in Fame. It's the dead of summer. The sun is shining and it's hot, but it begins to snow. So, all four of you are now in the same location. So you can come back. I think in like a splash of water and in a I guess like from a swirl of dust and ash in a rush of wind. 3 of you are brought instantly from your last moment in each of those scenes. Sort of coughing and spluttering if you were underwater. Maybe a little discombobulated if you were turning upside down through the air and reaching out towards a strange creature. Or standing defiantly in a column of dust as it encloses on you. You're brought to this very odd, very large room. I'm going to bring you to a sort of battle map with your tokens. You are in this almost indescribably large room in the sense that you can make out that there are walls that are made of like marble or white stone, something like that. You can see that there is like solid gold trim running along everything. And it looks real. There are these accents of gold everywhere. And it's very bright in here, but very well lit from no discernible source necessarily. You're each on a platform of your own. They're about 50 feet from each other, but the 3 of you that are currently here, I know your tokens there, PB, but for now, the 3 of you that are here, you can see that you all seem to have arrived at like exactly the same moment, and you're all standing up or gathering yourselves. You can see that there's 3 or 2 other people here. The walls seem to be both close and far. It's a bit like you're looking in a trick mirror. Above you, there's a mirrored version of what's going on the ground. There's a weird maybe sense of vertigo looking up. The room's kind of, again, weirdly made. It's a bit like one of those MC Escher paintings with the stairs. The walls look like they're stable, but as you concentrate on them, it looks like, no, there's another wall behind that, like it's further away. The same with the layers. You can see that there's a layer below you. Concentrating on it, you can see that maybe there's another set of stairs that head down. There are these steady footsteps that can be heard from one side of this strange divine room. 2 footsteps and a thud. 2 footsteps and a thud. Suna, you, with staff in one hand, have walked for what felt like probably a day. But exhaustion never hit you. You didn't necessarily get more tired than you were when you first started climbing those stairs. You walked upwards thousands of steps, and eventually your final step brings you onto your own pedestal here in this room, and there are 3 people that look a little confused, and one of them's soaking wet. One's probably patting herself down with dust coming off of it. And you maybe look backwards. You can see there's no endless stairway leading down. You just see steps leading to a platform lower than you. And then there's these odd mirrored platforms and steps that seem to continue endlessly, or not, or maybe they do. In front of each of you, you can see a very small pedestal. And at the top of it, it curves inwards like a bowl. And at the center of the room, there's a huge platform with this pool of like swirling golden light inside of it, just sort of calmly sitting there. You 4 can see each other. You can hear each other quite well. There's no sound in here.
1021.
Did I die and go to heaven?
I don't think so. Brad, do I recognize either of these 2 women from my visions?
Let me remind myself of your visions.
And is this the White Room? I can DM them to you real quick.
This is definitely the White Room.
Okay.
You've seen this place.
Okay.
You can... No, these are not...
Okay.
I don't see the other one.
There, I just sent it to you.
Yeah, none of these people are this woman. But this is for sure the White Room.
Well, hello.
Sure this ain't a room full of angels? I think I'm dead. Somebody pinch me. Oh, you're too far away.
Well, you can come over here if you'd like. I've been walking all day.
You know what? I'll do it.
Yeah,
You won't bite me, will you?
No, I'll just pinch you. That's what you asked me to do, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Well, where would you like me to pinch you?
My right hand.
Sure.
If you're heading over towards her, as you turn around and head down the steps to the next platform below, it brings you down back onto your same platform.
Oh,
Oh,
well, this is some weird stuff.
of course.
Guess we ain't going anywhere.
I guess not. Well, I'm excited to save the world with you all.
Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Where even is this place?
It's a great tower is all I know. I'm Tsuna.
I'm Bo.
It's nice to meet you, Bo. I look
Nice to meet
over
you too.
to the tiefling. And you are?
I'm Aura.
Aura.
I'm looking for Buns. Is Buns in here with me?
Yeah. He was probably flying around with you.
Okay.
Maybe he lands on a shoulder or wherever he is trained to land.
He'd probably land on my horn.
Oh,
My horns.
well, that's a lovely friend. Who's this?
This is Buns.
Hello, Buns. Would you
Take
like
a
a piece of
mealworm.
bread?
I've got some mealworms for him.
Okay.
I have a little pouch that I start pulling them out and feeding them to him on my horn.
Don't have birds like that where I'm from. Quite lovely. And you?
I'm just sitting there and I'm like wiping down my knife that has blood still on it from earlier, and I'm just staring. I'm particularly staring at the bard because he's very energetic and very wet, and it's very confusing.
Oh,
So all you can see, because I'm just concealed, all you can see are my eyes just like scanning everybody and just looking around the room.
I didn't want to go swimming. Let's just say that.
I just stay quiet for now because this is a very confusing situation.
Did you say we have to save the world?
Well, yes.
How would you know this?
I've known it for about 10 years now.
If we're stuck here, we gotta start thinking about what we're gonna do for food. I'm looking at the bird.
Well, I
As he says that, I pull out an apple and I just start eating it.
And you ain't even gonna share it?
Sure. I take my knife, I cut it in half, and I toss half of it at him that has the bite in it.
wait, just to clarify, this is
No.
the knife that was bloody and all you did was like wipe it off. Okay. All right. That's
What is
where
this stuff? What is this?
Just keep eating.
Good to me.
I don't know. I thought you'd all might be a little bit older. Maybe friendlier.
I don't know how you could tell if I'm friendly or not.
I guess that's a good point. Are you friendly?
I like to think so. I just don't know how I got here.
Well, you didn't walk?
No, I came through the sky.
Oh. Well, that's pretty amazing. Would you like to tell me about it?
Maybe over tea sometime.
Okay.
I'm gonna try going down the stairs.
I also try to go down the stairs.
Yeah, the same thing happens. Though you did see that you can throw stuff at each other, because the apple did go to where Ellie threw it. When you try and leave the pedestal, you can walk down the stairs. It looks like you're leaving. You take a step at one point and you're suddenly just walking back down the stairs again. And it's a very strange sensation, but it also kind of makes sense. Your mind catches up with your body in that weird dreamlike way when you walk from one room in your house in a dream and then you're walking into a barn and you're like, in your dream, you're like, yeah, that's cool. That's where that goes. And it's only when you wake up you realize it's wrong. You get that, maybe that sort of sensation. But But yeah, you once you try and move off the steps or off the pedestals, it just brings you back.
That kind of tickles.
I scan the walls. Are there any stone pieces that are sticking out or anything? It could be a button of some sort.
Yeah, you can give me a perception or an investigation check if you like. Depending on which one you use, depends on the type of answer you get. But yeah, one of those is fine.
Okay, you said insight or I'm going to do investigate.
Perception or investigation.
Oh, perception.
The perception is kind of like looking just straight up with your eyes, and that's it. What do I literally see going on? Investigation is like, what can I find here that might be a clue that makes sense to, is there a mechanical? Is that a button?
I'm going to do investigation.
Sure. A 5. Nothing looks out of place. Everything is pristine. Everything is perfect, and on your pedestal, it doesn't give you that weird sense of the room, that weird Escher painting where you can't quite focus on what's foreground and background necessarily. The pedestal seems pretty solid, but there's nothing weird going on. There is this little thing in front of you that's like a bowl. It just looks like it's made out of stone. The inside of it is like a bluish color, like a more standard stone grey blue. Other than that, everything looks perfect. Around you is confusing to look at. The platform you're on, perfectly made, perfect masonry with gold, what looks like real gold as well. But you don't see anything out of place.
Perhaps if we try walking off at the same time, all together.
I mean, that's doable. There's got to be a switch around your somewhere or something. But yeah, now let's give that a try.
Okay. Do you want to count us down on 3 or something?
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone?
Go ahead. Oh.
1.
Okay.
2.
Wait, are we going on 3 or are we going to go right after 3? Like 3 and then we
3.
walk? Okay.
We'll go on 3.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3.
Each of you steps onto the steps and walks back down onto your own pedestal. However, this time, the center of the room, that strange pool of divine golden light that's kind of sitting there, pulsates and flashes. And as you step back onto your same pedestal again, something starts to like rise up out of it. And it is a very strange looking creature. Very large looking creature. It looks like it's sort of made of flesh, but also vines and clay. And it's got like like pale grey skin, scale skin. And it shifts in color a little bit, like its hue changes, whether it's the light or whether it's like doing something weird. It's kind of hard to focus on and tell. Then it shifts to like a pinkish red. It has like a glowing core inside of its body that pulsates and gives the thing a little more color. It gives it like a deep red and then a white color. It's kind of humanoid in shape. And but it does have 8 arms. It has 2 legs. It levitates up above this pool, and the divine light kind of washes off of it like it is a liquid. Its head is particularly strange. It's just got a kind of set of folds and no face. Although each one of you looking at it you would think it was looking at you. No matter, if we were to jump from each of your perspectives, it would always look like it's looking at the person whose perspective we're looking at. Even though it has one head and it can be seen kind of looking forwards. It raises up out of the strange pool. It looks like it's kind of moving as if it's underwater with its 8 arms. Not quite in place. It kind of looks a little like it's swimming, but there isn't any water. When it speaks, which is pretty instant after it comes up out of the thing, it you can hear it with your ears, but you can also hear it as if it's speaking telepathically to you. And this thing appears to you and says,
I am Ahi, avatar of the gods.
and that's kind of how it looks. This is what you're sort of looking at. It gestures around itself with all of its 8 arms and says,
This is the boundary. You have been summoned at the behest of the current pantheon of divine gods and deities. These gods have ruled for 4 cycles.
what do you guys do?
I clutch my walking stick a little bit tighter. This is a little alarming, but I listen and I wait.
That is quite the wild costume, I'll say that, buddy! Wait, is this real?
I'm gonna let the bard do all the talking.
Oh God. Don't leave me to do this!
I'm gonna grab
Is
my
it talking
sword
with
and-
its mouth? I can't even tell where its mouth is.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have a mouth
Or eyes.
or eyes.
What am I looking at? How can I commune?
I'm legitimately laughing. It's great.
And you grab a sword.
No, I just put my hand on it, on the handle, and I just watch.
The thing that refers to itself as Ahi kind of moves around as if it's speaking to all of you, but again, it always feels like it's looking directly at you, each one of you, although it does have one head. It says,
When the gods themselves deem mortals too powerful, they must decree a race between their avatar and the mortals to determine their worth.
again, it kind of like, it points, as it says mortals, it points one of its 8 arms at each of you. It says,
This race is the final command of the gods to their mortal counterparts. This is their dying order.
it brings its arms down again, but continues to speak and says,
Across your world, currently known as Lacrin, there are ancient holy sites, known as places of power. The mortals that lived on Lacrin eons ago, a dominant race that existed long before those that walk the world now, attempted to harness the sites.
it lowers itself almost as if it's standing on the pool of water, but its feet are still kind of hanging a little bit, and its arms kind of relax at its side. It cocks its head to the side as it's looking at you and moves its head oddly every now and then, but again, seems like it's fixated on you. It says,
When the gods walked the land, long before those that came before you, and long before those that came before them, your predecessors created a series of gates, fortresses, homes, weapons. These are the most powerful places of power, and we have chosen these sites as the sites you must visit in your race against Symbol.
there is a sudden shift in the ground to one side of the creature Ahi, and some strange kind of shadows pick their way up out of the ground, these odd whipping tendrils, and these glowing eyes as this pretty humanoid, shadowy thing with sort of divine yellow eyes pulls itself up out of the ground and begins to float in a similar way to Ahi. It looks a little like that. And it appears next to the pool, but it's down, it's lower down on like the kind of odd looking ground that's hard to focus on, looking up at each of you. The avatar. Well, they're both avatars. Ahi continues to speak and says,
The 7 noble sights are heaven, hell, time, water, wind, earth, fire. It is up to the mortals which sight they will visit. Symbol,
and all of its arms gesture down towards the shadowy thing,
is a divine construct which is able to channel the ancient energies into itself and evolve based on which of the gates it visits. The mortals, too, will grow stronger with each gate visited and conquered.
You see your pedestal in front of you begin to bubble. The stone bubbles oddly, and shifts inwards a little like sand, and then produces an item for each of you, and everyone gets a different item here. The Ahi says,
Each mortal is given an item to bring to one of the 7 gates. Reach into the pedestal and receive yours.
in front of Aura, there is a 4-leaf clover with a little information on it. It says this 4-leaf clover is quite alive and must be protected and nurtured, and to be kept that way. Apparently I can't write English. It says if you are in a place of silence and you hold it to your ear, you can hear a faint tune humming from it. There is an actual living 4-leaf clover, and you have to keep it alive. You have to keep it alive.
Okay.
In front of Suna, you see a lamp. Like a genie lamp. It says this lamp appears copper in color, but when you hold it in direct sunlight, it looks like gold. Even the untrained can sense that the lamp radiates an immense magical energy from it.
Oh, bye.
And that comes up out of the pedestal. In front of Bobo, a potion or a bottle appears, looking like an elixir. It says a glass bottle with intricate metallic pattern trim. The bottle has no stopper, yet the orange or red liquid within never leaves the open top. It looks like it's open, you can put a finger in there, but the liquid never comes out. When you hold it to your nose, it smells like your childhood. Or it takes you back there, reminds you of that.
Oh, take it away.
And in front of Ellie, of course, is a dagger. This one says that it's an ancient-looking sort of ritualistic dagger with a metallic trim. The grip is bound in like this very odd leather that's kind of crispy to the touch, colored red and deep green. There's a fire opal gemstone in the base of the blade that glows very dimly in the dark or when in the presence of magical fire. And the blade itself is like really old and chipped and dull. You could probably stab someone with it, but it's not great. There is also a very intricate pattern along the center.
I grab it and just immediately put it in my belt.
Ahi speaks again and says,
During the race, you may call upon me only once. When you call upon me, it must be stated that it is an attack, in defense, or escape. My powers are limited, however, not by much. I will do what I can, regardless of the situation. Before you can embark, a test of your potential for teamwork, and an early test of trust.
in front of you again, in the pedestal, it fills with these strange-looking glass coins. There are 15 in there. They look like this. Fills up. Ding, 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 ding. Fills all the way up. The shadowy form of Symbol kind of settles down a little bit. And Ahi says,
Take the 15 coins.
do you pick them up?
I look over at the others. Okay, I see them take it, so I take it as well.
I'll take it.
Yeah?
Free money.
I hesitate for a minute, but then I take it.
Unlike any coin I've ever seen.
Booze and money. It must be my lucky day.
The creature, Ahi, says,
If you lose the race, all mortal life will be erased and replaced. If you win the race, you will declare war on the current gods, and your kind will be granted a chance at survival. You have until Symbol claims its fourth gate. Alternatively, should Symbol be permanently destroyed, you have until the snows slay the final mortal.
the form of Symbol sinks kind of into the ground. And I think that's where we're going to go to a little break. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I need to breathe. What the fuck? Oh.
And when we come back, your trust test will begin. Short break. Setup is well underway, but not over yet. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you're not too confused. This should be a little less confusing as it goes on. But for now, we're going to go to a little break, take a little breather. Remember to check all these lovely boys out on their channels. You can check their links in the Twitch chat. And we'll be back in 3 to 27 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes.
The second half here. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Be right back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to Tablestory's Dying Order, Episode 1. Some setup exists. I'm sure the Inquisition are going crazy in the Discord already. Hopefully you went and followed all these lovely peeps on the break there. If you didn't, I'm just going to sit here quietly for a moment while you do it. All right, you did it, right? Yeah, good. Let's carry on.
Thank you.
You guys are currently in this very strange place with this very strange creature. Ahi claims to be the avatar of the gods. And it's said that a test of your potential for teamwork and an early test of trust. And each of you has 15 coins in your hands or pockets or whatever. Ahi says,
there will be 3 rounds to put coins on the pedestal. After the 3 rounds, the total coins must equal 30. If they do not, you will all be punished. If they do, you will all be rewarded. However, whoever has the least amount of coins in their possession at the end will be permanently impaired.
So, round 1.
I'm sorry. Did he say a race?
1. No, he said 3 rounds. This is a race. But this isn't a race.
I gotta give the money back!
Yeah.
He's he said
What?
a race, right?
I heard something about money.
Well, yes, but this whole thing, once we pass this test or these trials, we're in a race?
A race for what?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure I heard that right.
Round 1.
Some of its arms point at the pedestal in front of you. It
So,
says,
Place the coins in the pedestal.
so the way this works, there are 3 rounds. You have to DM me on Discord how many coins you put back into the weird pedestal. You have 15. After the 3 rounds, it has to equal 30 in total. However, if you have the least amount of coins in your possession, you will be permanently impaired. If it doesn't equal 30, you will all be punished. If it does, you'll all be rewarded. Do you understand?
Oh, I'm going in my pockets and I remember pickpocketing some fella before this went down. Can I use that?
I think he wants us to use the coins we just picked up.
Oh, rats. All right. Well, we gotta communicate with each other. How many do we want to put in?
Well, there's 4 of us, so it's too much to split.
Aura has already put something in the pedestal. I feel like at this point.
What?
Talk to us.
How much? Yeah, how much did you put in?
Well, I don't feel it was very clear. I wasn't sure if we needed to just put it in and then... I put 8.
8.
Okay, so 22 left. Well, I'll go ahead and put in another 8.
Okay.
I'm terrible with math.
So, we have 14 left.
14.
So if you both put in 6...
Or 7s. Or,
No, that would be over the amount.
Oh.
We only need to hit 30.
I guess I could put in another 8. Just to be safe.
Whoa,
Wouldn't it be 7 each?
I don't know. I'm not good at number magic.
Yes, if there's 14 left, then 7 each.
Yeah, I would think so too. Well, I'll put in another 7.
All right. DM me how many you want to put in. On Discord. Okay. So, each of you is seen shuffling around. After a few seconds, Ahi says,
At the end of round 1, 30 coins have been placed into pedestals. Round 2.
you still got to place coins in.
What?
DM me how
Well-
many coins you place in this time.
If we placed 8 last time, so if you 2 place 2 and we place 1, we'll all be equal.
Okay.
Remember, whoever has the least amount of coins in their possession at the end will be permanently impaired.
Oh. Okay, we don't want that.
We have to make it equal 30 again?
Nope.
I don't think we have enough.
No, you've already done that. You've hit the 30. But now you still got to put coins in for 2 more rounds. It's now just who has the least.
Boy.
What do you suppose they mean by impaired? Think like
Yes.
we'll lose an arm or something?
Oh, God.
What do you mean by impaired? And I look directly at it.
Round 2 has begun.
It doesn't even have a face.
Great.
Well, thanks a lot, Ahi.
Well, what do we want to do?
Someone has to be impaired. One of us is going to have to be impaired.
Do we want to draw straws?
I do say I'm skilled with a sword and bow. I don't think it's smart for me to be impaired.
Oh, that is a sound argument.
I don't fight. I'll do it.
That's very generous of you.
Well, one of us has to, right?
Well, what do you do?
Well, I may or may not know a little bit of magic here and there. I heal. Aside from, well, the naughty things I do a bit of that. So,
Life magic.
yes.
Well, it doesn't seem like you should be impaired either.
Oh. It's there for you.
And what about you?
I point to the blood that's I like wiped and is smeared on part of my hands and whatnot. And I'm like, I fight.
Yeah.
What if
I figured as much.
I believe that.
What if we just all put our coins back in? And we all wouldn't have enough.
Would it impair us all?
Yeah.
Is that
there's
only one?
whoever has the least, but if we all have the least, it might impair us all. But
We were
I'm
chosen.
willing to
though.
do that.
We were chosen, brought here to see if we can protect something that they obviously cannot.
Yes. And if we are a team and we are working together, we should all be on equal footing. I put all of my coins into the center.
I do too.
I do as well.
DM me the confirmation that you all do that.
I hesitate and I watch the other three and I'm like holding the coins in my hand.
I
It's
think
okay if you don't want to.
everyone's pretty far away. I think you can see that they put stuff in there.
All in, baby. But, 3 rounds? Oh, maybe that wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah, too late now.
Oh,
Round 3
Begins.
I look around at everyone else and I'm like, so, do you guys have coins?
None left, no.
nope.
No.
So you can't put any coins in.
Right. Can you?
I toss a coin to each. So it's 3 coins amongst them. And then I throw the rest of my coins in.
Okay. So you throw a coin at each of them.
Yep.
So you guys each get
So I have 4 coins left and they have 3.
a glass coin.
It's very kind of you.
DM me how many coins you put in your things. The creature floating before you says,
as a test for the potential of your teamwork, you will be granted His shield.
Everyone gets a magical +1 to their AC.
Oh!
I will... I think I can do it quickly. No, maybe I can't. For now, just imagine your AC is +1. I can change it with a special thing to make it easier so that you can keep tracking it over the campaign if you change armors and things like that. The creature says,
At the end of round 3, this one
all arms point towards Aura.
placed 16 coins. It has no coins left.
It points towards Ellie.
This one placed 12 coins. It has no coins left. This one placed 16 coins. It has no coins left. This one placed 16 coins. It has no coins left. Now begins the weakening.
Each of you will be weakened. Everyone roll me a D6.
Three.
Okay, so first one in there is Suna. 3. Suna, you are hit by like a wave of nausea and weakness. Aura, you are hit by a wave of weakness and nausea. I think you'd probably really struggle to stand. You maybe lean towards one side as your constitution is reduced by 2. Ellie. Just like that.
Just like that.
Oh, can you?
Someone's happy about the weakening. You I think maybe you forget some stuff. Something happens. Maybe your training or things you're learning in are removed as you minus your intelligence by 2. And you probably have a headache like you've got now. IRL.
Fitting.
And then absolutely most devastating of all, I think, is the bard. As your tongue hurts, first of all. Your fingers weaken. Your lute playing fingers. Songs or tales that you tell, things that you do are lost, or you become forgetful. You forget lyrics all of a sudden as your charisma is reduced by 2. The very worst possible outcome. Pretty bad for Ellie as well. I think she was quite clever.
Do I still have my good looks at least?
You do, yeah.
Okay.
We'll say yeah. You're just a little less charismatic. The form in front of you kind of doesn't move or anything. You just feel these things hit you. There's no flashy thing, there's no magic, nothing happens. You are just weakened basically at the same time. The creature says,
You must now choose your first destination. Close your eyes. Will forth the map as you know your world.
the world looks like this. Here is the world of the Kryn, as we generally know it. Most of you are from Alexandria over here. One of you is not. And this is kind of how it looks. The form says,
These are the locations of the gates of power.
and generally speaking, you are now aware of where each of these gates of power lie. There is one in the Sky Islands to the west, which is a big set of floating islands that float for reasons that no one honestly knows. There is one in the Giant Lands to the south. There's one in the Coral Kingdom, which is where all like the Atlanteans type live. Imagine Aquaman. They all live under the sea. There's one in the Mistlands, which is a predominantly elven continent. There's one in Dustvale, which is like a big desert that people live in for some reason. There's one in Darkvale, which is Evil Land, Disney's Evil Land, where everything is evil and gloomy and poisonous and terrible. And there is one in Thelmesia, which is under the sea and in ruins, because that was the place that got destroyed that I mentioned at the beginning. You have this information now. Specifically where they are, you don't know. You know of this information. It's kind of downloaded into you Matrix style. But you wouldn't be able to point on a very specific map exactly where they are. Each of them. Yeah, go on.
Do we also have the symbols as well?
What do you mean? Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, you know.
So we can see these. Okay.
So yeah, and I'll just give you a rundown as well. I can't get the map to stay still on the screen, so it sucks to be viewers. The locations are as follows: the Gate of Heaven is in the Mistlands. The Gate of Hell is in Darkvale. The Gate of Time is in Dustvale. Water, Coral Kingdom. Earth, Giant Lands. Wind, Sky Islands. And the Gate of Fire in the Thelmesian ruins.
So both the Coral Kingdom and the Thelmesia ruins are under the sea?
Correct.
Okay.
Unless you use the Gate of Time. Of course. To go back in time to before it was under the sea. You know? If you wanted to do that. I'm going to put in the Zoom chat each of the things if you wanted to copy them down somewhere just to remember. Ahi continues to speak though and says,
When you have discussed, the chosen planar warrior among you will be able to locate and activate a god portal to the nearest possible location to your chosen gate. If you should fall on your journey, another mortal will be summoned in your place.
in a flash, Ahi is gone. But Symbol remains, the shadowy thing. It is staring just impassively at you, Aura. And I think you can kind of sense something now. On your character sheet, you have an ability which was previously locked. It's now unlocked, so you can delete the word locked if you want. Or
Okay.
give me a bit and I'll do it.
I can do it.
It's hard to describe like how you know, but you do, and you can come up with something if you want. But the same way you kind of know that you're hungry or you're injured or you have a sense of smell or taste, you now can sense the location of things known as god portals. Unsurprisingly, in here, it's that divine pool in the center of the room. However, out in the real world, it might be different. And you're really close to one now, but you might not be when you're out there and you're trying to find these in the future. You'll see how that goes. But basically, you are the planar warrior, and you can locate and activate the god portals to move around the world.
Okay. I feel sick, so I'm leaning against the basin in front of me. You would think that if sending us on something, they wouldn't make us weaker.
I just need to lay down. Well, where are we going first?
Is Symbol still staring at me?
Yep.
Does he come with us?
I think we're racing against him.
Think I can find them.
Well, we get to choose our starting point. Does anyone have a preference?
I can't say I'm familiar with the lands outside of Alexandria.
There's the world map if you need it.
Well, you said you had a vision of this, Suna, 10 years ago?
I did.
What did you see?
I don't know what order they go in, but perhaps the Gate of Time. That's the only gate I've seen.
Right? Where were you thinking we'd go?
The Gate of Time is in Dustvale.
I'm gonna try to get off the pedestal now.
You can, yeah. In fact, this whole time, actually, since you last tried, you can. You can step down onto the platforms here. If you try and like go off of this stuff, it's like mirror world again. But generally speaking, this kind of area here, you can maneuver around casually, wander about if you want.
It's also possible, maybe going to the Skylands and might give us something speed related. It is wind, after all.
I'm gonna look at Symbol.
It's still following you around the room, like staring at you.
Are you coming with us?
It just looks at you. It doesn't make a noise, doesn't blink, doesn't do anything.
I'm gonna take a mealworm out of my pouch.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw it at Symbol.
All right. You just throw it at Symbol, and
Like kind of in the ground in front of him to see if he'll eat it.
Yeah, I mean, now there's just a mealworm on the ground in front of Symbol. Realistically, that's all that. It just continues to stare at you.
I wasn't sure if it was trainable.
It's a little disturbing, I'd say. Just seems to be looking at you and following you around.
That's a waste. You gonna eat that Symbol?
Doesn't move. Doesn't respond to you at all.
Are you?
No? I mean, if nobody else will. Are we gonna get out of here?
Yes, but I think we should all decide where we're going together. Some lands are more dangerous than others, I'm sure.
What exactly are we doing?
We're racing, I guess, for the sake of humanity. And more.
We have to decide where to go.
I guess we just pick a place we go.
Yes.
I walk around. Do I notice like any thief symbols or anything in here at all?
You can give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Bam. Natural 20 again.
I'm wasting it all now.
I've also never seen, by the way, better rolls for a player character than Ellie.
It's okay. You just nerfed me a little bit.
Yeah, that's the only reason I did it. I was like, she's gonna lose no matter what because that's too strong. Yeah, you look around this place. You don't see any symbols, I don't think, apart from the creature symbol. There isn't anything that there's lots of patterns that at first you maybe sort of trace a finger over or check out, but they just seem to be kind of like swirly patterns. It's just complete random stuff. There isn't anything that either looks like something to do with thieves or thieves guild or your syndicate or anything like that. It also doesn't seem to have anything else. There's no religious symbols or
just pretty
ancient
much
writings
untouched or something.
It just looks pretty plain. Everything around here looks just like a pattern. Doesn't look like at all like a symbol. Definitely not one that you recognize from the thieves or anything like that.
Okay.
Well, I'm partial to Dust Vale, or perhaps even the Sky Islands.
I say the Sky Islands. Maybe we can get a boat or something.
All right.
It's in place.
Are we all in agreement then?
I just follow around the bard. I just like walk behind him with my hood still up and everything.
Oh. I think she agrees too.
Okay then.
Sky Islands it is.
I guess we all think about it. I've never been there, so I don't know how to imagine it other than to think we would like to go there. Let me try that.
Did I read in my books once what the Sky Islands were like?
Give me a history check with advantage.
I changed my mind if you see seagulls.
Do you not like seagulls?
No.
I've always wanted to see them.
Does it question you when it comes up with a thing and ask you whether you want to roll advantage or not?
It did roll. Did it not show up for you?
Oh, I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Sorry. My thing was rolled up. I'm an idiot. 10. I think you have a kind of an idea of what the Sky Islands are like, but probably not like anything much. Most people don't know what it's like there. It's usually kind of like used as a tale to tell children, like, oh, there's floating islands, it's adorable. Really, I think all you know is that it's like an archipelago of islands that are floating at varying different heights, but they're relatively close together. They're pretty high up. It's some of them are low enough that you can see them from like sea level, but they're still kind of up what looks like up in the clouds kind of thing. Even the lowest ones. There's only a few of them, but they have like a mainland island, and then loads of little small ones around it. Most of them apparently are uninhabited. All of the, I think you specifically would know that every tree that grows there grows with white leaves. Regardless of the type of tree, you can take seeds from somewhere else and plant them there. They grow with like white leaves. So a lot of people believe it to be like divine and like sacrosanct land. So a lot of people kind of go there on a pilgrimage who are religious. They think, most druids and stuff think it's almost like their own personal kind of mecca to go to check and visit. lots of druids and things, and I think you probably would know this too, draw power from it, directly from the Sky Islands. That's what they almost have like a circle of the Sky Islands thing that they can do. But really, it's supposedly just a kind of sparse set of mostly uninhabited islands with things like temples and druidic forests on, as far as I think you would know. I don't think you know anything very specific about it, but it's generally not supposed to be very inhabited, and most people, like the people who run the Sky Islands or govern it, don't allow people to just move in and live and build a house randomly. It's all kind of very protected. I think that's probably all you know.
Did you know that, or did you say that the Mistlands were elves?
Mistlands is, it's a little more generally well known. The Mistlands is.
Would I have knowledge of the elves there and whatnot, being half elf?
I think everyone kind of has the same kind of knowledge. It's not a secretive place necessarily, but there are huge parts of it which are very secretive, belonging to secretive types of elves. But there is like big main cities there, like Bologna, like on Alexandria. In the way that Alexandria is kind of the human continent, this is like the elven one. Most of it is covered in forest. The entire thing is like weirdly enshrouded in mist. Like there's just a mist that settles like a fog over the entire thing. There are elves known as the Mist Folk who keep to themselves and no one fucks with them. And they're supposedly like unbelievably powerful wizards and sorcerers and stuff like that. But then there are just like outlying cities and villages that anyone visits and are generally quite open to travelers and things.
Okay.
Did you want specific information on someone or?
Well, I wanted to know. I mean, because I can speak the same language as him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I just was curious. I was debating whether I was going to reveal that to my forced teammates now.
All right. Yeah. No,
I'm just going to keep following Bobo for now.
There are certain continents that at first were like that's where the elves came from. That was like the Elven Kingdom, and no one else was from there. There was no humans there. Now, because we're a little further along in the future, it's a little more kind of mixed. But the it's generally just known as like a predominantly elven continent. It's ruled over by like a council of elves, basically.
Okay.
Each continent, there are a lot of continents that have that. Darndarol is like where dwarves are from, things like that. Yeah, I think you'd probably have some small affinity towards it, but I don't know if you'd know anything specific about it.
Okay.
Without.
I woke up next to Bobo and I like stare him up and down and look at his like weapons and what he has on his person. And then finally I take off my hood and it's just blonde hair that's been braided, and then I have my elf ears poking out through the hair. But then I point down at his shoes and I go, "Your shoes are untied." And I just keep walking.
I'm just gonna get to that then. Shoes are good.
Do you have elf ears poking out?
I'd say they'd be slight because they are. I don't have elf ears right now. Like
No.
I'd say they'd be very slight, like small, pokey. They're not like, World of Warcraft in your face ears. They're just gonna be a small tip at the top that, like, since I have it braided and tucked behind my ear, you can see it. But if I had my hair just down, you wouldn't see it.
What about Bo? Can people tell that you're half elf or an elf potentially?
Oh, well, I have long, luscious hair, so you can't really see them, but they're a little pointy, yeah.
But it's not a secret? You're not trying to keep it secret or anything?
Well, I do try to hide them as to not really, it does strike up a conversation. I'm a little shy about them.
Okay.
Well, the Sky
Islands then.
Well, it's more of a religious place. I don't know. That's the right place to start.
How do we get there?
I think we just think about it and maybe go ask
I walk
or.
up to Suna as she's talking and I say, my vote's for the Mistlands.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
And I look back at like the others and I'm just like, I think we'd have more luck there.
All right.
We all have to know a little bit about it, right? Like I'm just like assuming people know about the Mistlands and that, you know, about the elves.
Yeah, I think generally the information I've given is most people kind of know.
Have you been there before?
Well, I don't travel often outside of Alexandria, but we'd probably have better luck there. And I just kind of point to my ear than we would going to a strange place that none of us are familiar with at all. So,
Well, since we all have to work together now, I should say I am from Dustvale. So I am quite familiar with the terrain.
well, then maybe we should go there. I'm not a big fan of dust. I say that like as there's like just still like dust all over me from the people. But
I haven't been back in a very long time.
falling out?
No, actually, I forgot the way home, if you can believe it.
Well, this might be a good opportunity. You remember what it looks like, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Then if you just describe it to us, then we can picture it ourselves, right?
Perhaps.
And then just sort of look around, like,
I look over at Aura, who said she could sense these portals. Is that right?
Do I know how to access these portals?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you know that you just have to step into that one. That one's activated, good to go. As long as you guys have the same destination and you've agreed, then it will take you there.
All we have to do is, as a group, decide where we want to go, and then we step through that. And I point to the...
Oh, well, that's easy enough. Shall we hold hands?
Are we going to the Mistlands or Dustvale?
I think we've all reconsidered.
I reluctantly like put my hand out and there's still blood on it.
Oh,
Dust.
I smile and take your hand.
I take the other.
Just to be clear, we're all going to Dustvale?
Yep.
I would so very much like to go home.
All right. And I grab the last two hands available.
My heart is racing. For those of you feeling my hands, you can probably feel it.
It is getting a little clammy.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm just very excited.
Or is that me?
You,
That Be you. I don't know.
I apologize.
There's definitely a smell coming from your direction.
Squeeze me.
I squeeze
this
your
doesn't-
hand.
Hopefully this doesn't take long. Do we
uh,
chant something?
you guys agree on Dustvale, and you're heading towards the pool of divine golden water liquid.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Symbol and see what he's doing.
Symbol, as you start to move closer to the center of the room, begins to kind of move as well, and he levitates. He doesn't really have legs, he's just shadow. The further down it goes, the more it kind of fades out and becomes wispy shadow. You can make out a kind of humanoid figure in there, a sort of muscular, more male than female looking figure underneath it, with like a head shape in through the smoke and shadow, but it's quite hard to do. Again, he has all these tendrils and it has all this kind of like floating stuff going on, but it mirrors your movement somewhat. And as you get close to the pool, it's ahead of you and it bars your path. And it continues to stare at you, Aura.
excuse us.
Doesn't look at you.
I don't like the way it's looking at Aura.
I know. What does it want from you?
I don't know. I thought it. That's why I tried to feed it.
Get
guess
out
maybe-
of the way. I bop it with my walking stick.
All right, everyone roll initiative.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Bop it with
Yes!
you bop it with your little
Oh!
bop it noggin, and it reacts immediately. The things, the tendrils, kind of like raise upwards. The eyes kind of narrow a little bit, Spider-Man style, when he goes kind of nasty boy, and then the thing, like, immediately you see all of the tendrils form spikes at the end, and it fires a bunch of them at all of you instantly.
God.
So to roll initiative, click on your token, and then click on the word initiative in your character sheet. If you click on your token first, it'll put you in the turn order, and it won't give you that message. There's usually a message that comes up. I'll roll for symbol. Wow. Symbol fails. So let me just set up this here. Who am I missing? Ellie is.
I roll, but I didn't click on a token because I don't know
Yeah,
where.
it's cool. It's cool. Let me set up this. So who's on there? Everyone's on there now. Let me check. Sorry. Symbol is not on there. 16. All right. So the turn order is Zuna, Symbol, Ellie, Bo, Aura. However, Symbol does fire an attack instantly because he's been waiting for you to get close. And I need everyone's ACs, please. And I'm going to go in order of what it is on the thingy there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the first one, Suna, 14 against your AC.
14.
14, okay, breaks it on that.
You gotta be kidding me.
Which means these spikes launch outwards, and one of them catches you straight away, Suna. Probably just as soon as you bop it, one of them just immediately counters you, and you feel it hit you. It feels like you've been stabbed by a little dagger, but as soon as it hits you, it draws blood, but the shadow just vanishes instantly.
Okay.
The next one is a natural 20 against you, Ellie. Sorry. That is 8. Same thing. Comes down, catches you maybe in the stomach, sends you stumbling backwards a little bit as the shadow spike hits you, draws blood, and then disappears instantly. Bo, that is a 5 against your AC. What is your AC? 15?
Yep.
So that one misses you. Maybe you dive quickly out of the way. You see this thing coming. It launches past your head. Before it even hits the ground, it vanishes. And then Aura, did I miss one? Oh no, 9. So a 9 against 18 is also a miss. So these things, it makes no noise or anything other than the movement and then the sound of these sort of crystallized shadow spikes launching out towards you, bringing us to Suna, your move, your turn. What would you like to do on your turn?
Holy.
Also, remember your ACs are +1 right now.
I did. I added it. Okay.
I can add a thing. I'm going to do it at the end, but I'll add a thing that will magically always give you the +1. It will just automatically do it
Okay.
on the sheet. But for now, just remember it. I was going to do it on the break, but I forgot.
Okay. I would like to. How does everybody look? Who got hit by this?
You
Bo was the
and
only one
Ellie.
who didn't get hit, right?
No, Bo and Aura didn't get hit.
Okay. I'm gonna cast shield.
That is a reaction.
What? Is it?
Yeah. So shield is what you cast as you're about to get hit. You can use a reaction to bring up the shield.
Oh, amazing.
And it hits the shield instead. Or it gives you +5 to your AC, so in theory it hits the shield or whatever you do it.
Can I do that?
Too late.
Okay.
If it was any of the other players here, I would say yes.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But we've played
I will
together for a
do Witch Bolt then. I will cast a different spell.
Okay. Do it. And remind me exactly what Witch Bolt does, because it's been a little while since I've seen it.
Sure. Let me just pop it in the chat here. If I can do that. How the fuck do I do that?
You just
click on it?
Click on it, yeah. I think so. Oh no, there might be a little chat bubble comes up next to it now.
There's no chat bubble because I had to put this in here. Hold on here. There it goes. I just cast it.
So you make a ranged spell attack against a creature you can see. On a hit, the target takes 1d12 lightning damage on each. Oh yeah, and you hold it up. It's Palpatine Force Lightning. You just get to unlimited power symbol. Okay, so make a ranged spell attack. So I think we can probably mess with your sheet to make it so that the attack is the attack, but that is that 25. 25 is absolutely a hit. How does this look? Shall we see? And remember, this holds up, so you continue casting this from round to round.
Yes. So the area around me gets really dark, and shadows kind of like seep down out from underneath my clothing. And I reach up, my one eye is completely black, and I mutter something, and then I cast it, and a lightning just shoots out of my hands.
All right. She looks like a witch. She casts a witch bolt. That's the most horrific thing ever. All right. Yeah, and it hits him, so roll me the d12. I need to write down... You want to say that for the audio listeners?
Yes. There's the PB rolls we know and love. A 2.
A 2. Okay. 2. There we go. You deal 2 damage. But you are still like electrifying this thing. So you see it get hit. The electricity strikes the more physical portion of Symbol, the kind of humanoid form that's under all of these shadowy tendrils and weird shadowy misty stuff underneath him. And it actually probably gives him a little more form, and you can see that it is kind of a man under there, like a muscular looking form. It's like pitch black, you can't see anything, but you do see that it's attached to Symbol. It doesn't cry out or make a noise or anything though. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
All right. Symbol is going to attempt to grab Ellie, because she's the closest one, because I just put you at random on there. Sorry, but that's how it is.
Wouldn't it be further back than her, though? Because she's the one that poked it, not me.
That's true.
Fair.
You know what? I'm going to put...
Fair.
And I just got massively crit.
I'll put you like that. We'll say you like that. In fact, we'll say you guys...
Because you guys were on either side of me, right? Holding
You were all
hands.
holding hands,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
We both were holding Bo's hand.
Yeah, you're probably something like this. Is everyone holding Bo's hand? How many hands has he got?
Bo's hand.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
We'll go with this. We'll go with
He's in
this.
heaven, 3 women around him.
Or maybe it's this. There you go. Because then everyone can be holding everyone's hands.
Yay!
So Symbol will reach out towards you then, Suna, and it will attempt to constrict you with this. A 10.
No.
All right. You see all these tendrils rush out towards you. Maybe you bat one away with the quarterstaff, and you see the tendril is hit physically like an octopus's thing. You avoid them as
I don't think so.
It seems kind of slow, Symbol. It doesn't seem like these things aren't like rushing towards you Shikamaru style. They're just kind of like reaching out somewhat.
Should we just go around him and go inside?
I don't know if he seems that slow, but he seems slow. Brings us to Ellie's turn. What would you like to do?
Is there a ledge around us at all?
Yeah, so on the map, I think like probably this is about 10 feet up this ledge here. The platform itself isn't very high up. These are maybe another 10 feet up.
I would just like to duck around the nearest edge and go into stealth.
Oh, you mean like an edge that you can hide behind?
Yeah.
You're on like the lower floor, so you can only go up. I don't know if there's much to hide behind. You could go over here, probably.
What about but is this platform, is it just as flat as the floor we're on, or is it not a platform? It's like...
It's more of like a step up. It's not really like a whole thing. It's a little ways up because you can see down onto it, and he floated up out of it.
How do you use the pointer thingy?
On the left of the screen, there's a little ruler. In fact, I tell you what I'll do. I'll print screen it again because that was. I hate trying to explain it because I'm terrible at explaining it. On the screen, little ruler thing there,
Okay.
and then you click and drag.
So if I can, what if I go like right there, around this corner right here?
I can't see it. I don't know why. And anyone else? Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, you'd be going up.
Okay. So I'd have to go over this ledge and jump over here.
This is probably the only thing you can hide behind. Like these platforms that you were on are like columns, so you can definitely hide behind these things.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to go up and to the corner.
Yep.
To get out of firing range of what just stabbed me.
Yeah. You should be able to move your token. Just click and drag it around.
Okay.
If you can't, then let me know.
Like right there. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, give me a stealth check then. So on a bonus action, you can do all sorts of weird roguish things like hiding and running faster. Damn. The real shadow here is Ellie.
I'm really desperate about getting out of this firing range.
She bails out, and as you turn around, she vanishes into a very small shadow in this very brightly lit room, and she is gone somehow. As she vanishes from sight. And then you still have an action if you want to do something. Like while you're running, you can do something before you hide. Because you can hide on bonus actions as a rogue, I think.
Well, can I take a shot at him with my bow? Like take my bow out as I'm like running backwards, or no? Just
yeah, you can do that.
Okay, I can do that. Okay.
Yeah. Give me the attack roll with the bow.
Oh.
God damn. Is that another natural 20? This pocket is so unfair. Is this all you roll? This is
No, I'm usually terrible.
unbelievable. Oh my god, yeah, you win the game. You just you defeat the thing and it's all over. Yeah, I mean you fire this thing off. You also have allies that are standing next to it, which means that you get your sneak attack bonus, so you can roll that. I think I don't know if I set it up. I know I intended to. Oh yeah, I did. So you can just click sneak attack on your attack roll spell thingy, attacks and spell casting, and it will roll the extra damage that you can do.
Sneak attack.
So when you're hiding, or you have advantage on an attack for some reason, or you have allies that are standing next to the thing, kind of distracting whatever you're attacking, you get to add your sneak attack to it. So you only need to roll it once. That's all of the dice in there. So in total, you just dealt 22 damage on your first attack.
As I'm running.
While you're running back. How does this look? Yeah, what do you look like as you're running away?
I think once I get hit, that was my cue that I'm pretty angry at myself for putting myself in such a vulnerable position. So you see me run back and then immediately like it's one of those typical leap up into the air, fire off a shot, and then turn around and just disappear.
Yeah, it's exactly how it is. And this arrow flies completely true. You see it strike Symbol, and it is lodged into some things. If it has flesh, then it's stuck there. But you can see it sticking out, and it remains sort of sticking out of Symbol here as it's pushed back a little bit as well. And that brings us to Bo's turn. Bo. What would you like to do?
I want to give this guy a hard time.
How would
I'm
you
gonna
like
make
to
you
do that?
blind so you can't stare at Aura the way you are.
Nice. Yeah, okay. So you're going to cast blindness, deafness.
Yes.
Can you click it for me? So I can read it. So you can blind one or deafen one foe. Choose a creature that you can see. It has to make a con save. If it fails, they're either blind or deafened, and you're choosing blind. So let me give you a con save here. 4. That is a fail. Yeah, I think like these eyes that are watching you, these like glowing kind of divine white yellow eyes, vanish. They're just gone. They just become fully covered in like shadow, and it probably for the first time kind of reacts and cocks its head sideways, twitching a little bit. You can also move on your turn up to your movement if you want to run somewhere or get away from being so close to this thing, or you can stand right there.
I'll stay right here.
All right. And what does it look like when you cast a spell? Usually bards use like an instrument or something as an arcane focus, but whatever you want to do, you can do. What do you think it looks like?
I'm using the power of my voice, and I'm just staring down at its ugly face.
Okay. You just shout, "Be blind." Oh, I guess you
Yep.
said, yeah.
See no more.
Yeah, okay. And it works. Yeah, you see this blindness settle over the form of symbol, bringing us to Aura. What would you like to do on your turn?
I hesitate for a moment because I wish that I could reason with it, but I think at this point, since 3 other people have attacked it, I'm going to have to attack it too. So I'm going to pull out my greatsword and I'm going to aim for, in the shadowy mist, its head to try to cut its head off.
All right. Cut its head off. I think because it's blind, you get advantage, or does it? Oh no, let me double check. Also, yeah, you're right. I see that message, Pocket. You do get double crit damage. So that 10 is added on as well. So you did what? 397 damage? Can't do math. 397 damage first turn.
I'll take it.
Let me just double check what blandness does. You have a true support character here. I've never DM'd for an actual support character. Everyone just hits stuff. So a blinded creature can't see and automatically fails any ability check that requires sight. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and it has disadvantage. So yeah, you can roll your attack with advantage. You're pulling out this insane sword?
Yeah, the giant greatsword that my father gave me.
Yeah. Give me the attack roll with it. So you just click on.
Is that basically a buster sword?
It is basically a buster sword.
Trying not to freak out.
It is
right
in
now.
my head as well. I was hoping never to ask.
Oh, thank God for that advantage.
So yeah, with the advantage you get a 19. That is a 13 slashing damage. How does it look when you do this?
I pull it out super quickly and I just pull it up over my head and just cut through the air at his head, hoping that I'll catch it.
You do catch its head. And I think you lop off like a chunk of its head, like part of its head is cleaved off, and this weird disc launches off from the side of this shadowy figure, and it's just like it's like a block of coal or something. It just launches sideways and it hits the ground. It doesn't bleed or leave anything behind. It doesn't have anything going on. It's just like a void of color that hits the ground, and it rolls away like it's an object, and then sits and kind of moves up and down. But it's not its entire head, it's just a section of it. The thing is still like moving though. Like it's still doing stuff, but it's just missing a chunk of its body right now.
Well, that's unexpected.
What else would you like to do? You can move, you can do bonus actions. I don't know if you have bonus actions. I can't remember what you have exactly. Most rangers have like a bunch of spells and things that they can do bonus action with. So the spell will say like with bonus action.
Let me see.
Each spell has like a casting time and the type of action. I can't remember what it's called. I'm the best GM of all time. It's known as casting time. So certain spells are bonus action, certain spells are reaction, and certain spells are one action. I think there might be some other weirdness, but generally those are the 3. You can do your movement, your bonus action, and your action in any order. So you could cast a bonus action spell and then do your move. But remember, it takes a spell slot. to do any spell casting.
Can I do Hunter's Mark for another person who does magic?
No, you can only cast Hunter's Mark for yourself,
Okay.
which means
Then-
whenever you attack, you get the extra damage.
Then I don't have anything. That counts as a bonus action.
Cool. Yeah, generally speaking, you'll probably want to do Hunter's Mark on the thing you want to hurt a lot. Then you hit it, and then you'll get the extra. I think it's D6. Okay.
I'm
So
just gonna move over here.
if
I'm not
you
gonna go
move
away. I'm
out of
Yeah.
this thing's threat range, it gets a thing called of an attack of opportunity, which it doesn't have to take, but it can use its reaction to try and hit you. The threat range are the immediate squares outside of it. Same goes for you. If something is stood next to you and moves away from you, you get like a free hit to attempt to strike it using your reaction if you want.
Okay.
So warning, and you can retcon this if you want. You can Control Z this. If you move away from this thing when you're standing right next to it, it might try and hit you for free, basically outside of its turn.
okay. Then I'm just gonna stand next to Suna.
All right, Suna's turn. It is blind, so it would have disadvantage, but it
I'm
wouldn't.
going to try to levitate it
Oh,
out of the way so that we can just walk through.
okay.
So I stop casting my witch bolt, which I did out of reaction when it stabbed me,
Yeah.
and I'm going to try to levitate it.
Okay. And what does it have to do? Does it have to make a save? An unwilling
find
creature. Okay, a con
Yes,
save.
Con save.
Okay, let me give you a Constitution saving throw. And what does it have to beat? What's your spell save DC?
Let me look. 14.
14. Con save coming in. 20.
Oh, for
Okay, so how does this look from you? What do you do?
So instead of moving my hands, forward, I just kind of like rotate them, and then I try to make, I guess, a lifting motion and wave it up into the air.
I think it begins to go up, and then you see all of its tendrils kind of stiffen up and extend, and it forces itself somehow with some energy to lower again, and it anchors itself to the ground somewhat. Want to do anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Symbol is going to fire a shadow spike. And let's roll to determine whom. In fact, can't see one of you, so I don't think it gives a shit. Kind of can't see any of you, so it's going to fire randomly anyway, but I'm going to determine Bo, Suna, Aura. 2 and 2. It does not like you. Suna, these are with disadvantage, but 2 shadow spikes suddenly form, and it fires in your
Shield?
direction. You can
No, I
do
can use
shield.
shield.
Do you want to see if it hit first?
Yes, please. I wasn't sure if I could do that. Okay.
That is a 5 and a 14.
The second one would have, so
Okay.
I will use my reaction for that.
And how does that look? As these 2 spikes come down, they will miss or they hit the shield, both of them.
The shadowy, I guess, aura down at my feet will immediately come up and form a shield in front of me and stop it.
Shadow versus shadow, and
That's right.
you win. It hits them, they dissipate, and yeah, that is the end of Symbol's turn as these 2 shadow spikes miss, kinda, I guess. Hit a shield instead. Bringing us to Ellie,
Yeah,
wherever she is. What do you want to do?
hiding. I'm
Yeah.
gonna fire an arrow at him.
All right.
From the shadow.
You have advantage
Okay.
on your attack as you materialize out of nowhere in the corner. 23 is absolutely a hit. You also get sneak attack because you had advantage on the attack.
Okay.
How would you like to kill it? Well,
Um,
let me say, how would you like to defeat it?
Defeat it. I'd say the part that was slashed off by Aura, I realized that that's where the head was as well. and I turned around and just aimed directly for the center of the head, kind of like a bullseye.
Yeah, and you do. You bullseye straight at where between the eyes would be on this thing if they were not blinded. It doesn't know it's coming. It has no idea. It can't see anything. And this arrow hits this thing straight dead center in the head. You see the tendrils which were kind of anchoring it just fall loose. The shadowy kind of magic which is sitting around it like a mist almost or smoke vanishes a little bit, and this kind of doll-like body just falls in a kind of crumpled mess in front of where you are, Aura. The shadow's all gone. It just looks kind of like a doll, I guess, as it just falls over this strange kind of body. And again, it looks like a man now. You can see arms and legs. It looks kind of naked, but it has no genitalia. It doesn't have things like nipples or a mouth or nose, and now it doesn't have eyes. It's just got like a chunk missing off of its head laying there in front of you.
Can I kick it with my boot to see if it responds?
You kick it, yeah, and it feels like you're kicking a heavy doll, but it moves quite far. Like it when you kick it, it moves a little too far, like it's really light or something like that, and it's just pushed across the ground.
That's a little bit excessive.
I had to make sure it was dead. Maybe don't hit things with your stick next time.
Yeah, sorry about that. Just thought it would get out of the way.
I didn't know it was going to attack us.
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
either.
I pop up back next to Bo, and I just got like kind of like a bloody shoulder, just like where I got hit with the spike, and just like that didn't feel very good. Maybe we don't do that anymore.
Oh boy.
Yeah, is everyone all right?
Yeah, no. Ellie's not looking so good. Can I, well, let's just say I have a healing touch. Can I help you out?
Yeah, here, right here. And I like point, and there's like a hole right here. So around my collarbone, like right under it.
Hey.
Oh yeah, that looks very nasty.
All right. Let's see what I can do for you. Hmm.
6 healing on a healing word. How does it look when you do this healing magic?
Well, first I get, just a little closer over to Ellie. Not too close. I don't want to, make her feel uncomfortable. All right. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna whisper a little something in your ear. Don't get creeped out. Okay? This is gonna help you out.
All right.
I promise. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Bada boom. And just like that, she starts feeling a whole lot better.
I guess it works.
Shake
Yeah,
my
I mean,
head. Shake my head.
You don't feel better, but for some reason the skin is knitting back together. It's closing up the wound a little bit.
I'm still just shaking my head.
For at least
I'm, like,
6 healing.
Kind of like wiping
not
some
easy.
of the blood. I don't seem phased by it. Like, I've obviously been in combat before, but I'm just, oh my god, never one like you. Nope, never met one like you. Mm-mm.
Well, that was very neat. I've never seen that before.
Oh, thank you.
We go, or that might wake up. And I look over.
That's a good idea. Let's get out of here.
Okay, just 1 second. And I slowly bend over to pick up my walking stick.
Yes.
Takes about like 15 seconds for me to grab it and then slowly use it to stand back up.
Of course. You do you each grab hands again, or do you just walk into the?
Nope, I just walk into the thing.
Yeah.
You just walk
I just
in.
walk into it. I'm not grabbing hands again.
I like
Let's go.
go out to hold hands and I see that nobody else is. Oh, all right.
Yeah. So who's first here? Ellie just wanders in.
I want to go after I want to go after Aura.
Okay, Aura.
Yeah, I'd just go first.
Just walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as you step into this thing, it's like stepping into a jacuzzi. It's really weird. It does feel like water almost on your legs. It's very warm. The liquid feels very heavy. Doesn't feel exactly like water. It feels more like maybe if you're stepping into a huge bowl of paint or something like that. It's very thick. But it moves around your body and you step into it. You can feel a sensation like this thing is like pulling you into it in a strange way, like like there's a sense of some sort of magical energy beginning to fire up as you step in. I think everyone sees Aura step into it, but she doesn't just go in and just go down and sink. You see her kind of like fold in on herself a little bit, like someone has taken a corner of the edge of where she is and begun to fold her inwards. For you, Aura, it would feel very differently, but for everyone else watching, she just kind of folds away and into this thing very quickly after she steps on it, almost instantly.
That looks very uncomfortable.
Who was next?
Oh, I am. I keep walking.
You
It
just do
doesn't
it as
phase
well?
me. I just keep going.
Exactly the same feeling. The first couple of steps feels like you're stepping into something like warm water. To everyone else, you kind of fold in on yourself. For you, you just feel like you get kind of like dragged into this thing, like you're pulled into a kind of warp tunnel. And
Would it be similar to the dust feeling from earlier, where I was like warped through?
I think for you, like you kind of when the dust got you, the last thing you saw was the dust kind of close on you, and then you were here. It was a very quick thing, like a dip to black, and you were here. There might have been a quick sense of kind of discombobulated vertigo as you kind of appear somewhere else. I think this feels a little different. This feels a lot more like you're like dragged into the into a portal here, as it pulls.
Okay.
Not just you physically, but like your soul and your energy into this thing, and it's a very short process, but compared to the previous one, no, something else brought you here. This thing is taking you out.
Walk in and fake scream like it hurts.
Okay, yeah, and then you were gone into the god portal. And who would be next?
I look over at Bo. Well, we can't.
Ladies first.
We can't let a few kids outdo us, can we?
Nope.
I hold out my hand.
I take it.
Let's go together.
Let's do it.
All right,
I
you guys.
walk in with Bo.
Yeah,
How this water feels familiar.
Same thing. You step into it once again. You feel that strange energy, like the first few steps, like you're stepping into just warm water, and then you're pulled into the god portal and taken somewhere else. There's a moment that passes as this room is empty. We see this form again, Ahi, the avatar of the gods. The strange head-like form lifts up out of the ground and appears watching the pool, floating once again. It says,
May the race begin.
and symbol twitches on the ground. That is where we're going to end today's session.
What? That was so awesome! Oh, that was so cool! Oh!
Thanks for playing, players.
That was amazing. That
You're
was
going
amazing.
now. You're going
Thank you,
now.
everyone.
And
Everybody is so cool.
It's that was a fun first session. Enjoyed it.
Everyone was amazing.
Okay. There we are. It has begun. Dying Order.
It's a race. Am I winning?
It is a race, and you are winning. Yeah. Technically. Technically you're in the lead right now. Good luck. More and more to be revealed as the weeks come. We'll do a quick round of shout outs here so that you can shout out your channels where people can find you during the week. We'll be back next week, same time, which is if you're watching on a VOD or you're watching on YouTube or something, or you're listening on one of the varying listening devices that those fangled kids have nowadays. What is that? An iPod Touch? Remember those? An iPod Nano? No. Alright, I'm just old. The the time this is on, 9 p.m. UK time or 4 Eastern if you're in America, and you can translate that to wherever you are in the world on Sundays. Let's do a quick round of shout-outs. We'll start with Pocket because she's probably desperate to go back to bed, go and eat something greasy, and then go to
I'm
sleep.
just gonna go watch TV and
Oh,
chill.
what are you watching?
NCIS. Just, something really easy on the brain.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry for this.
I'm Pocket, Pokkket, and I like playing rogues.
God, your
like
character
mine.
is so fucking cool. I'm
OP.
I'm
She's
freaking
kind of
out.
an ass, but
I love
hopefully
her.
she makes up for it.
Yeah, well,
By killing some things.
what did you have? About 46 crits, episode 1.
I-
Problem is though, you've set
can't.
like a standard now though that everyone expects you to hold.
I
for the
know,
rest
and
of
now
the
I'm
thing.
gonna start doing the opposite. It
No.
happens every role play for me where I do really great in the beginning and then my character goes by.
Yeah.
No more rules. So
It'll be you versus PB for lowest rolls.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'll probably win that one every time.
as long as
Phew,
Boaz
I
are
rolled a
heals,
2.
we're good.
We'll see.
So-
All right, so check out Pocket. Links in the description. There's also links in the VOD descriptions and things.
And if you're listening on the podcast version, you can also just go to tablestory.tv/dying order. And it has the link to the cast and all of their socials and stuff right there.
Bam.
And
What
that's
about
dying-order? My bad. Sorry.
dying-order?
Yep.
I'm going to change
I
everything
should change it. Yeah.
for next week.
Do it.
What about Katie Peters Plays? Where can people find you during the week? What do you do?
At Katie Peters Plays on Twitch. I play a lot of scary games. We just finished playing Man of Medan. I don't actually know how to say it.
No one does.
It was a really good game. But yeah, so I play a lot of sci-fi and horror, and I played a tiefling for you today named Aura, and I'm excited to see where this is gonna go. I didn't know it was gonna be a race, Brad.
Neither did I till I wrote it about an hour before we started. Came up with everything probably about 5 minutes before we began. Yeah, I just didn't know what. I just had never done something like that before. It was like, that seems like a fun concept that's probably going to go horribly wrong as we go.
Are we
We'll
gonna
see.
have to kill that thing no matter what?
That thing, he's going to be your best friend by the end of it. You're gonna love that guy.
Whoa.
Oh no, he's
Um,
gonna come back.
He's going to keep coming back.
Don't poke it next time.
That thing's T1000, that thing. It just never stops. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. What about you, Dispiarix? Where can people find you during the week? What do you do?
You can find me streaming on Twitch playing mostly roleplay stuff. I like to make silly voices and stuff for my characters. I like to play horror games too. I cannot wait to play Man of, I think it's Medan or Medan. I'm not really too sure how to pronounce it either, but looking forward to play that one as well. And yeah, that's about it. I'm so excited to be a part of this campaign and looking forward to role playing with you all again.
Can you see through the glasses?
Oh yeah, I can. I'm actually wearing both my glasses.
That's what I do as well. When I put sunglasses on for some reason, I do this, and then I'm like, haha, fooled the system. 10 out of 10, trickage.
Cheats.
Yeah, easy. All right, there you go. Dispiarix. Last but not least, returning player. Pumpkinberry. Back once again.
Hello.
Are you prepared to spend another whole campaign with me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Today was fucking awesome.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I had a lot of fun. Also, I'm shipping literally everyone's character right now.
Everyone with everyone?
With everybody, yes. I love everyone so much.
Bo and his harem.
That fucking Buster Sword. Holy shit. There was a lot that happened, a lot to digest. But yes, I'm PB. You can find me on my channel doing things. I also like horror games. I fell out of my chair on Friday playing Blair Witch.
Oh.
It hurt. Yeah, and I'm also here a couple of times a week as well. I will be back on Monday and also on Wednesday, where I GM a horror show about a crew stuck in a time loop, and Katie's in that one. And that's
Insane.
it. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
And on Friday. God, I'm here too much.
You are. You're out of the campaign as of next week. There's everybody. This is your crew for the next 100 years as they travel around the world of Lacrin on this race, heading towards whichever gates they want to head towards to charge their things and do stuff with them to try and give the world a chance. That's all you're really doing. That's what's hysterical, is that you're just trying to give the humans or, mortals a chance to go to war, to win. You're it.
Oh boy.
This is it. You are the ones. We'll see if they do it in the coming weeks. Place your bets.
Probably won't.
Remember,
Oh.
remember to follow everyone. Go and find their Twitch channels. Give them a follow. Question them throughout the week. And if you want to discuss the campaign with other people, there are lots of people. We tend to refer to them as the Inquisition. On the Discord, there are people that like to pull apart all the things and stuff that is put in the campaign. There's always good conversations going on the Tablestory Discord. It's awesome. We have an amazing community. And
Yes, please join us. Also, my cat's name is Pumpkin.
of course
Sorry,
it is.
people were asking.
Yeah.
Oh, cutie.
I love him so much.
We'll be back next week with more Dying Order. Thank you for watching our premiere episode here, episode 1. As of now, it's just over to you lot. I feel like I did a lot of speaking today, and I'm just gonna let you wander around. Where did you pick to go? Dustvale.
Dusk.
Yeah.
Dustvale
Yeah.
season 2. All right,
The
Dustvale
duskiest
season 2.
place there.
It is. Nah, you'll be fine. I'm sure. It's only a scorching hot desert that's incredibly difficult to survive in, with one of the hardest guardians out of all of the guardians that guard the gates. Sorry, didn't I mention the guardians that guard the
No.
gates that you have to defeat? Well, you'll find out, won't you? In
boy.
character next time. Probably not next time. You got to get there first. See you next week, next Sunday. Sundays belong to us now.
Peace.
Peace out, boys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Appreciate you all. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.